I'll walk you through connecting Zapier to Salesforce and sending new lead notifications straight into Slack. This is the setup that stops your sales team from having to refresh Salesforce all day. Open your browser and go to zapier.com, sign in, then wait for your dashboard to load. Before we connect anything, a quick reality check. Salesforce on Zapier needs a paid Zapier plan, a supported Sales or Service Cloud edition, and your org must have My Domain enabled. If your admin hasn't turned My Domain on, you'll hit a wall in the next minute and the connection won't work. The person setting up the integration needs a Salesforce user that has permission to read and write the objects and fields you plan to use, so confirm that now while you're still thinking about it. Now click Apps in the left sidebar, then click the plus Add Connection. In the search box type Salesforce, select it and click Add Connection. A new browser tab opens. Sign into your Salesforce account. When prompted, grant Zapier permission to access your data. If My Domain isn't configured, this sign-in flow either won't appear or it'll fail with a domain error. Assuming that's sorted, after you allow access, the tab closes and you're back on the apps page with Salesforce listed as a connected account. Now we build the automation. Click Create up top, choose Zaps, and the Zap editor loads. The first thing you see is an empty trigger step. A Zap has to start with a trigger, something that kicks it off. Click the trigger step itself, search for Salesforce again, pick it, and for the trigger event, choose New Lead. That fires every time a new lead record is created. You'll also see triggers for New Record, Updated Record, New Contact, and so on. I never use New Record for leads because it's more general and you'll end up catching unrelated records unless you add a filter later, but New Lead is purpose-built and runs only when a lead is created. Click Continue. Now choose the Salesforce account you just connected. It should already appear in the list. Click Continue. If it's not here, you'd click Connect a New Account and run through the OAuth flow again. With the account selected, click Test Trigger. Zapier pulls the most recent lead from your Salesforce as a sample. If you don't have any leads yet, pause and go drop one in quickly. Even a dummy like Test Lead at Acme Corp with a fake email works. Once the test finishes, you'll see a list of lead fields: first name, last name, email, company, phone, lead status, lead source, title, lead ID. Scroll through and make sure the data looks complete. If any field is blank but you know leads have data there, check your Salesforce user's field level security. Click Continue with selected record. Now add the action. Click the plus button below the trigger, search for Slack, select it, and for the action event, choose Send Channel Message. Click Continue. Connect your Slack account if it's not already there. You'll get a Slack authorization page, you approve it, and then you're back. In the channel field, open the dropdown and pick the specific channel where leads should appear, like sales leads. Click Continue. Now the part most people rush and mess up, building the message. The message text field is where you design what your team sees. Start typing something like a megaphone emoji and new Salesforce lead. Then you map the actual lead data into the message by inserting fields from the trigger step. Click the Insert menu inside the text box and you'll see all the Salesforce fields you tested. Pick first name, then a space, then last name. Then on a new line, map company and email. I also include phone, title, lead source, and status, each on its own line. At the bottom, I add a line that says a new lead has been added to Salesforce, so the notification is self-contained. The mapped fields appear as placeholders with double curly braces around them, like first name. Every time the Zap runs, those get replaced with the actual lead data. Here's the trap. Salesforce often has multiple fields that look nearly the same, like lead source and lead source with no space. Pick the one your org actually uses. I always check against the sample data from the trigger test to make sure I'm pulling the right fields. If you map the wrong one, you'll get blank values in Slack and wonder why. Click Continue when your message is ready. Then click Test Step. Zapier pushes the sample lead into the channel. Switch over to Slack, go to that channel, and you should see a message with all the lead details formatted just like you built it. Verify that the name, company, email, phone, lead source, and status are correct. If anything is missing or wrong, go back and remap the fields. Once it looks right, head back to the Zap editor. Your entire automation now shows Salesforce as the trigger, a down arrow, then Slack with the Send Channel Message action. That visual is your confirmation that the two apps are connected. Click the Zap name at the top and rename it to Salesforce New Lead Notification. A clear name saves you from hunting through 20 Zaps later. Now review the summary screen. Trigger account, Slack account, channel, and message. Click Publish. Your Zap is live. Let's test it with a real lead. I'll open Salesforce now. Create a new lead. I'll call it Live Test Lead. Company Acme Corp. Fill in the email and phone and hit Save. Switch back to Zapier and open Zap History in the left sidebar. You'll see a new entry pop up with a success status within maybe 30 seconds. Then go to Slack, jump into the channel, and the notification is sitting right there with the exact data from the record I just created. A couple things will save you hours of frustration later. The most common failure is permissions. If your Salesforce user doesn't have read access to a field you mapped in the message, the Zap will run, but that field will show up empty. Always test with a live lead after publishing and check every field. If one is blank, open the field level security for that user's profile in Salesforce Setup and give it red access, then test again. Also, the Spring 26 Salesforce release changed how external apps connect. In some orgs, an admin needs to create an external client app in Setup instead of a traditional connected app before Zapier can authenticate. If your connection worked earlier, you're fine, but if a new org rejects the OAuth, that's the fix. While you're here, you can adapt this same pattern. Instead of new lead, swap the trigger to new record and pick opportunity or contact, then add a filter step so the Zap only fires when stage equals closed won. That way your team gets Slack alerts for exactly the deals that matter. And if your lead notifications start assigning the wrong owner in Salesforce, check your lead assignment rules and the profile of the user you connected to Zapier. That user's permissions dictate the default owner, so temporarily adjusting the assignment rule or using a dedicated integration user often solves it. If this walkthrough saved you some trial and error, hit like and subscribe so you see the next one. And leave a comment saying this was helpful. Comments are what push this to other people looking for the same thing.